Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick Newman's family throwdown. Is he a hypocrite? Young and the Restless spoilers hint Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, gives one of his siblings an earful. Of course, it's Victoria Newman, Amelia Heil, after he learns of her plans. Nick's shocked to learn she will reunite with Ashlyn Locke, Robert Newman. He can't believe she will walk away from the family on the CBS soap opera. But is he being obtuse? Nick Newman argues with Victoria Newman, Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick Newman has an ugly confrontation with his sister when he hears the news. He is concerned that Ash still can't be trusted. Nick worries Victoria will be hurt once again. But Ash swears that Victoria's love has changed him. However, it is a hard pill for Nick to swallow based on the other man's history of lies. So Nick tries to get her to see reality. However, Vicky is strong-willed and won't change her mind. She loves Ash profoundly and wants to spend the rest of her life with him. But Young and the Restless spoilers show Nick tries his best to persuade his sister not to make this dangerous move. But she is committed to her decision. I&R spoilers. Nick horrified, but can he criticize? Sure, Nick Newman's right that his ex-brother-in-law's a cad. But Nick's made plenty of mistakes. His romance batting record's pretty dismal. In fact, in the upcoming Y&R episode, he considers all the times he's forgiven women he loves. Sharon Newman's Sharon case wasn't a saint back in the day. And on Young and the Restless, viewers saw him forgive Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, over and over again. Yes, faking cancer's pretty awful. But the women Nick chose did bad things too. Remember his fling with Diane? So, does Nick have a leg to stand on when raking his sister's decision over the coals? And will she remind him of this when he confronts her on the CBS soap? Is he being hypocritical? Young and the Restless update. Newman's heartbroken and angry. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, ordered his ex-son-in-law to leave town, and he packed to go. Then, Vicky slithered up to his hotel room and reconciled with him. Now, he'll only Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Nick Newman goes all out to keep his sis from making what he sees is a horrible mistake, but it's doubtful that she'll listen. Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick Newman makes an unexpected decision. Young and the Restless spoilers indicate Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, makes a decision that brings happiness to his family. He decides to return to his old stomping grounds on the CBS soap opera. But it won't be smooth sailing for the prodigal son. Nick Newman returns to the fold on Young and the Restless. After much debate, Nick Newman makes a move that will significantly impact his life. He did some serious soul-searching before he came to his decision. He even consulted with his ex-wife before his announcement. However, it was apparent he had already made up his mind and was only looking for validation on Young and the Restless. He announces that he will return to work for Newman Enterprises. The oldest son becomes COO immediately. He has been on the management team of the family business before, but it didn't end well. However, this time, Nick is willing to take the chance that the family can work together. Family celebrates without Adam Newman. Nick's announcement is a reason to celebrate, and the family does just that. Champagne flows and toasts for the future of the company appear. Young and the Restless spoilers show that he, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heil, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, will run the company together. Adam is again pushed to the side. He must welcome Victoria and Nick back with open arms. However, there is no real place for Adam at Newman Enterprises. He isn't even invited or informed that his big brother plans to take on a significant role. Nick Newman feels sympathy for his little brother. He believes his father has disregarded Adam's feelings and the sacrifices he has made for the family. But Victor Newman, Eric Braden, does whatever he wants, and everyone must fall in line. Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick may soon regret his choices. Nick thought long and hard before he made his choices. However, it seems he has ignored the writing on the wall. One of his most significant problems with Victor is how he pits his children against each other. Nothing has changed with that situation on Young and the Restless. Victor has done this repeatedly in the last several months. So the eldest son left before because he grew tired of his father's games. So now he is walking right back into the same situation that drove him away early. Will he be able to succeed in the cutthroat environment? It is all smiles and happiness right now, but that doesn't mean he won't quickly grow tired of Victor's maneuvering. Keep watching this week as the family enjoys Nick Newman's return, but it may be short-lived if he realizes what he has gotten himself into on Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless. Nick faces prison over Victor's cover-up. Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, might be in hot water thanks to his dad's interference. Has Victor Newman's, Eric Braeden, scheming made the police suspicious? The truth will come out then. There will be fallout on the CBS soap. Nick Newman gives info. Sally Spectra publishes on Young and the Restless. This week, Nick Newman fears that this will all come back to bite him, and he could be right. Soon, he gets advice from a few people. Meanwhile, over at Newman Media, Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, wants answers. She knows other media outlets will cover Ashlyn Locke's Robert Newman death, and she tells Nick that if they ignore the story, it'll look like the family is trying to suppress information. Hint the Young and the Restless spoilers. In the end, Nick gives Sally some info that she could use for a story. That's if she decides to run with it. No doubt, she and Chloe Mitchell, Elizabeth Hendrickson, will carefully weigh what they decide to publish. So, the family's own media outlet must run this story. But will Sally leave out the part where Nick Newman clocked Ash in the head? Probably. She likes the guy and doesn't want to hang him out to dry. Tease Y&R spoilers. Ashlyn Locke investigation heats up on Y&R. While the local media is debating what to do, the GCPD is in action. The police are still looking into the strange circumstances of his death. That signet ring of Ashlyn's is a big problem for Nick's storyline on Young and the Restless. It's not where it should be and implies that Ash was unconscious when he left Victoria Newman's, Amelia Heinel, house. When Nick Newman talked to his dad, the mustache was vague as usual. Victor said he called off security, which makes no sense. But that makes it sound like Ash was able to stumble to his car, unseen, and drive away to his doom. But there's no way that the mustache would call security away from her house. Nick's certain his dad is lying. This week, Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, gets a new lead with Kevin Fisher, Greg Reichardt, that they chase. Will this be bad news for Vic's oldest son? Will Nick pay the price for protecting Vicky on Young and the Restless? When Victoria called Chance, everything was tense but clear in the eyes of the law. Ash attacked Vicky, and Nick got in the way, hitting the other man in defense of his sister. His hitting the fireplace was an accident. But when the body went missing and was clearly transported while dead, it's a problem. And these are problems created by the mustache having his security clean up the scene. But it didn't need any of that. If he'd left Ash lying there for the police to find, Nick Newman would have been evaluated and dismissed as a suspect in foul play. But when you start moving a body and cleaning things, it looks like a cover-up happened. Young and the Restless next week. Nick Newman struggles with fatal deed. Young and the Restless weekly spoilers see Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, struggling with a harsh reality, but someone's a bright spot for him the week of August 15 to 19, 2022 on the CBS soap. Plus, the cops get more dirt, and something shifts for a family on Y&R. Nick Newman struggles with harsh truth next week on Young and the Restless. It's been a rough couple of weeks for Nick Newman, his sister, and the whole family. Now, though, he's got to face reality. Although Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, covered it up, Nick definitely killed Ashlyn Locke. And that hits Nick hard. I&R week ahead spoilers see that Nick's worried his dad's cover-up scheme will blow up in their faces, and the fact that Nick killed a man isn't sitting well with him. Even though he did it protecting Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, it's still rough on Nick. Later in the week, the Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Nick has FaceTime with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. She's been digging to get the truth on what happened to Ash, and when she and Nick talk, he's very impressed. But Adam Newman's, Mark Grossman, also digging for info. Sally told him she'd reveal what went down that night with Nick, but only if he admits he still loves her. Will the prodigal son declare his feelings to get the info on Nick Newman? We'll see next week. Kevin and Chance get the goods. Y&R spoilers week of August 15. The Legacy family circled the wagons and aren't giving an inch to the cops on Y&R next week. Unfortunately for them, Kevin Fisher's Greg Ricart on the case, and he's a skilled digital investigator. He gets a huge scoop. He decrees that everyone lock it down and stop talking to the GCPD. He also has a loyalty test for Chance. But will the detective toe the line as Victor's son-in-law? Later, Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway, finds her husband doing something hinky, and the mustache won't back down or admit to anything about what happened that night. But will the cops get the proof to nail him for a cover-up anyway? And is Nick at risk? Young and the Restless early next week spoilers. Nick Newman tells Adam to hit the bricks. Young and the Restless next week spoilers see Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, pushing back on Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. And you know what that's about. The week of September 26 to 30, 2022 on Y&R also has a stranger heading to Genoa City. Young and the Restless next week spoilers. Nick Newman stakes his claim. Y&R spoilers show Nick Newman's really into Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and hanging on to her is also a slap at Adam Newman. But Sally fell hard for Nick's little brother, and he's not easy to get over. His big brother's lost women to Adam before and doesn't want it to happen again. So, while he keeps romancing the redhead, Nick also issues a warning on Young and the Restless. Weekly spoilers suggest Nick writes a reality check to his little brother. Nick wants him to stay away from Newman Media's CEO and warns him away. But as Sally struggles to get over Adam, will he cave to Nick's demands? Or will Nick Newman's ultimatum push his brother to redouble his efforts to win her back on Y&R on CBS? Young and the Restless early weekly spoilers. Nick and Sally hit the sheets. UBDEED. The Young and the Restless early weekly spoilers show Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, hitting the sheets with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, plus Victor Newman, Eric Braden, vents at a rival as his wife leaves town on Y&R on CBS next week, September 12 to 16. Young and the Restless weekly spoilers. Nick Newman and Sally Spectra get frisky. A brand new Y&R spoilers photo for next week shows Nick Newman and Sally Spectra getting undressed at the office. The new pic has them entwined in asterisk cat on the couch in Sally's CEO office, and they're kissing and making love. It's clearly an intimate scene, but is the Young and the Restless messing with fans with a moment from someone's daydream? Either Nick or Sally's? It's true that Nick has a vibe with Sally, but this seems fast. But it's not Nick daydreaming this up in his mind. What's worse is Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, is right outside the CEO office door when Sally and Nick are getting sweaty on her couch.